Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemiah Shai. I want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone and do well. Salutation to the men of the Hope Land Saint Select. There's a brother Marcus out in trend. I just want to do a quick edification, for the elect sake, on the job right now. So, I to make this, as quick as possible. But I was just considering the name Samson, right? And when you look up the etymology of the word Samson, it will tell you basically to be like the sun, all right? And basically from the word Shamash, which means sun, right? But when you also go to the etymology of the word Shamash, it does not only mean sun. When you go to E, it means pinnacle, battlements, shield. And, when you really think about it, Samson was really a battlement or a shield unto Israel. He was a defense unto Israel, all right? Because when you go back to chapter 13, all right, chapter 13, verse 5, it says, "For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto Yahweh Shemiah Shai from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines." And to deliver Israel, he delivered them by what? By warfare. So he was a protector, he was a defense, he was a shield for Israel in the days of his judging. All right? Because Esau, when the blue letter, we know sometimes the blue letter go off, they might just show one meaning, all right, for a word, but not really going in depth. But, when they went into Samson, and you look up the etymology of the name Samson, goes back to Shamash, we know his son. Here it says it was used 119 times as sun. It was also used as east side, windows, eastward, westward, right? But it was also used as battlement, all right? It was also used as battlement, pinnacles, battlement, shields, all right? So, I went and I looked up the word Shamash on Google, and you will see they say basically it's H8121 Shemesh, and just to make sure that is the same word, all right, here in the blue letter, and we have the same word H8121, and it says what? Shemesh, son. And when you go down here, it says NASB translations, the first one, look at this, the first one, battlements, which goes back to, let's look up the word battlement. Battlement, a parapet at the top of a wall. Basically, when you go into the law says that if you build in a house, you have to put a battlement around, basically like a fence around, as a protection for nobody not to fall off. It says especially a fort or castle that has regularly spaced squared openings for shooting through. It says a section of roof enclosed by battlements. All right. It says basically to fortify. So, all right. And when you come down here, so a battlement is basically like a fortification, right? When you come down here, it says what? Pinnacle as a glittering, it says shining pearl, Isaiah 54:12, thy pinnacles, battlements of Zion. And it says Psalms 84:12. Now, what they made a mistake with the Psalms 84:12 is actually Psalms 84:11. All right. So I'm going to go to Isaiah 54 and 12. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 12. It says, and I will make thy windows of agates, and thy gates of carbuncle, and all thy borders of pleasant stones. All right, so let's see what the compare translation says. It says here in the New King James Version, it says, I will make your pinnacles of rubies. Let's look up the word pinnacle. Pinnacle, the most successful point or culmination. It says a high pointed peak of rock. All right, it says a form of culmination or point or example of. It says set or as in a pinnacle. All right. Let's see what they shows for pinnacle here. All right. Basically, a pinnacle is a high point, the highest point. All right, and when you high, basically you see from danger. All right. NLT says, I will make your towers, but yet when you go into the King James, it says thy windows, it says, I will make your towers thy high point, I will make thy pinnacles high points. The DBY down here, it says, I will make thy battlements of rubies. And we're going to look up the word battlements again. Look up the word battlements. It says what? A section of roof enclosed by battlements. And that is where Samson was. Samson defended Israel in his days. All right? To fortify. All right? Possibly related to battle. Okay, down here, possibly related to battle. He was that defense. He was that wall of fire, so to speak, for Israel in his days. All right. And one of the is like when you go back in the time of Alexander the Great, they would talk about the flying shields that helped them to conquer Tyre and Zidon. They said flying shields broke down the walls of Tyre so that they could enter because they couldn't break down the wall. And a shield, if you look at a shield, let me type in this. F-L-Y-I-N-G, flying S-H-I-E, shield of Alexander. Let's see if see, is it true that Alexander the Great was helped by a UFO in one of his battles? Let's go to image. That's a different topic. So you see, look, they're showing here flying shields. They have shields on their bodies, but then they are flying shields in the air. So the flying shields were chariots because the chariots were round. All right, the chariots shaped like a shield. All right, and as I said, when you look up one of the words for shamash, it also means shining, and the sun is round. So that is why they would say like shining like a shield. All right, but the only one that says windows is the King James Version, or it says pinnacle or battlement. All right, pinnacles. We have battlements. You have any NIV pinnacles. All right. I will make your fortifications. This, remember, all these words here translated from the word shamash. All right. Let's go back and make sure. Isaiah 54 and verse 12. All right. Look at here. H81:21, shamash, sun, sunrise. It's come down here, battlements, pinnacles, shields as glittering or shining. All right, so all these translations here goes back to the word shamash. All right, fortification. That is what Samson was. Samson was a fortification unto Israel. All right, he was that high point. He was that strong tower. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. Means they keep them safe away from trouble, from destruction. All right. It says, moreover, I will make your battlements of rubies. I will make your battlements of rubies. You will make your strong points of rubies, your protection of rubies. That is what Samson was. Samson was a protection, a shield. All right, a shield on to Israel in his days. All right, now let's go to Psalms, and I want to prove something from Psalms, right? Let's go to Psalms 84 and 11. As I said, they made a mistake when they put Psalms 84 and 12. It's actually Psalms 84 and 11. It says, for Yahweh Shem Yahshai is a sun and shield. Yahweh Shem Yahshai will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. So now, you might say, Yahweh Shem Yahshai is a sun and shield. And it's like, all right, cool, he's a sun and shield. You're the Lord shining bright. All right? But when you go into the translations, all of them will say the same thing, a sun and shield, right? And just to make sure, the word here for sun is the same, shamash, all right? But I want to just type in something just to prove my point. I want to just type in and, S-H-I-E-L-D, shield, all right? And let's go back to the book of Psalms, all right? It says, thou art at a shield. It says, for Yahweh Shem Yahshai is my strength and my shield. All right. Psalms 33 and 20 says, he is our help and our shield. Psalms 35 and 2, take hold of shield and buckler, shield and protection. All right, because when you go to the word shamash, the word shamash also means battlement or protection or support. All right, and it makes sense when you look up these other verses. When he said Psalm 76, it says the shield and the sword. All right, it says for Yahweh is our shield, he's our protection. All right, Psalms 91 and 4. It says shield and buckler. That is what Yahweh Shem Yahshai is. He's our shield and our protection. So when you read this over, Psalms 84 and 11, it says, for Yahweh Shem Yahshai is a protection or a battlement and a shield. All right? Is a battlement, a protection around us, and a shield. Psalms 34 and 7. Let's read it. Psalms 34 and 7, it says the angel of, let's look it up. Psalms 34 and 7, it says the angel of Yahweh Shem Yahshai encampeth round about them that fear him and deliver them. And when you look up the word encampeth, it means what? To encamp, to bend down, to lay siege again, to encamp. All right. So basically, let's go to other translations. Compare translations. It says, for the angel of Yahweh Shem Yahshai is a guard, which goes back to what? Battlement. The Lord is our battlement and our shield. All right? Encampeth, encamping, encamps. All right? So basically, going back to Psalms 84, Psalms 84 and 11, when it says, for Yahweh Shem Yahshai is a sun and shield, which really would have mean Yahweh Shem Yahshai is our battlement, which a battlement is something that is a defense going all around, is our defense and our shield, which is also, a defense. All right? Now, I want to just go back to Google a bit and let's read from here. It says, being a shamash. It says, may come shine, being a shamash. All right. It says, be it on ugly sweaters, yada, yada, yada. It says, yet there is one unsung hero that is always there, but rarely named, the shamash. Shamash literally means servant or helper in the Hebrew and is the extra candle whose final flame serves as a light or as to light all the others each night of Hanukkah. All right. So it says, what is the difference between shamash and Ived, which most likely might be Ibad, I believe. It says, why is the servant candle, the eighth candle, on the menorah called shamash, meaning servant, instead of Ivad? All right. It says shamash can also mean assistant or helper. All right. Shamash can also means, all right, assistant or helper. So with that being said, let's go back to Judges. This is Judges chapter 13. It says what? Judges chapter 13 and 5. It says, for lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto Yahweh Shemiashai. From the womb he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. And what he was doing, a deliverer is somebody that helped. He was a helper. He was that helper, that Shamash that helps Israel. All right. Let's look up the word deliverer. All right, to save. He was a savior unto Israel. All right, to be saved. All right, to be liberated. He liberated Israel from the hands of the Philistine. Look here, it says to be saved in battle. All right, it says to save from moral trouble, save or deliver. Used down here 12 times. Slack. It says used down here 12 times. Let's go back to it. All right, is used 12 times as help. All right, defend, save, avenge. All right, so he was there to avenge Israel. All right, so that is why when you read these things, you have to apply, these scriptures to it, but also the spirit of Yahweh Shemiashai. Because when the blue letter just says Samson means of the son, which also goes back to our Babylonian god. All right, name Shamash one. Or Shamash, slack, which also goes back. Shamash also is a Babylonian deity. And when you look up the characteristics of Shamash, it says that he was a helper and a defender of the people. All right? But when you look at the characteristics and Nomen Omen, going to Samson, it says, what Strong's definition? It says, properly to be open, wide, or free. It says to be safe. Causatively to free or succor. Avenging, defend, deliver. When you look up Nomen Omen, Samson basically was a deliverer, a defender, and an avenger to Israel. He was that protection, that battlement for Israel. All right? When you go to Nomen Omen. All right? So, I take up more time than I was hoping to. All right? I hope it was edifying. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemiashai. Want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy and do rule well. Salutation to the men of the hopeful and saints elect. This is your brother Makazao out here in Trinidad saying shalom and stay strong. Shalom.